Ready for in-depth discussions on everything from the court to the field, mixed with the business and culture that orbit the sports world. Whether it's the latest blockbuster trade or the societal impact of sports. Two Men On, with your hosts, Van Nunley and Fred Slow, with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Yo! What it is, Duke City. Happy Monday, y'all. You listen to 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. The program in question, of course, is Two Men On. And the boys are in studio today.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. Welcome in. I can tell by the crispiness of the voice bouncing through the mic.
You like it's a little cleaner in studio.
Yeah, a little cleaner. It's a little cleaner.
I'm looking sexy. I'm sounding sexy. I'm feeling sexy today. We got a hell of a program for you today. You're gonna love this, Zay. Isaiah Zay Speaks Johnson
talks
is one of the two men on today. You're double dipping today, double duty today.
Yes,
a lot of de-alliteration. Wink, wink. As you're both producing and being two-chair today.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to softball in some topics for you today, Zay.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of cowboy talk, baby.
We love it.
A lot of cowboy talk. Forrest Stolting of the Isotopes joins us at 4:15, talking Home Run Derby X and what to expect out of the Isotopes. And what I'm pretty sure, I will have to check the schedule, is their next to last homestand. Is that accurate?
Wow.
Have you checked your schedule?
I haven't. I'm just a robotic with it at this point.
Okay, you don't plan that far out either, do you?
No, I actually have it here. So
okay.
I'm looking to see if this is the second to last.
I believe this is the next to last one. I think there's only. Am I wrong? Am I a wrongy McWrong face?
You're correct. So it's this one, and then we got one more from September 10th through September 15th. And that'll be it. Now we got fireworks on that Friday and Saturday on that.
Now
13th,
hold on, hey,
14th.
hey! Don't be taking Forrest's job. Let him do that.
Oh, that's right.
Let him do that.
That's right.
I'm like a mix of like happiness and sadness that there's only two more Isotopes homestands. Because as you know, Zay, as the friend of the show knows, there are few things in life that I'd rather be doing than watching day baseball.
Yes, and I know before the season started, I remember how excited and hype you were for day baseball to wake up early and get going. So
I've only missed one all year, and I was out of town.
It's okay. Sundays they're gonna overcompensate for it a little bit.
Baby, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of overcompensating, Zay, great assist on the segue here. I forgot my sunglasses at home today. Not my glasses. I don't wear spectacles. I got 20/20 vision. I think I have 20/20 hearing as well, and 20/20 smell. I think all my senses are super strong. But I forgot my sunglasses, and I got these weak ass little ginger eyes. And like I've been so used to my whole adult life wearing glasses when I go outside during the day.
Yeah,
like and my eyes are just like 6,000 thread count soft.
Okay,
like
I can help you out a little bit.
I can't go outside without sunglasses, and I did today, and I drove away, and I have an emergency pair in my truck too.
Okay.
And I reached into the glove box as I was pulling away, and my emergency pair was gone too. I have no idea what's happening to my sunglasses, so I'm just driving around,
blind,
running errands on my way here, and just blind, just like squinting and winking. I got my sunshades flipped down. I put a t-shirt on the passenger side window so the glare wouldn't come in as bad. And I'm just sitting there like squinting, looking around like a friggin' 42-year-old Mr. Magoo, just like blind, looking around.
Running errands and running lights.
Yeah, it was awful. I put myself and my community in danger because
the lines are blinging. So you continue.
Okay,
and we're going to see who the friends of the show are calling. Maybe they want to get in on your blindness.
All right. What happened was I am squinting, driving around, and I'm squinting so hard, it's like actually affecting my vision. And like I mentioned already, I have 20/20 vision. Like I am 42. I don't even have reading glasses. I don't have any type of glasses. Everyone in my family besides me has some form of glasses. From the texture, Friend of the show, Joel, says Zay doesn't even know who Mr. Magoo is, and that is for sure that he has no idea what that reference is. So I am cruising around, and I'm just squinting, and I am so fortunate that I didn't run into like an Asian American man or woman at the stoplight, because they'd be like, this white boy is mocking me. Why is he doing the eye thing? It's like, no, I'm blind without my sunglasses. I'm not being culturally insensitive. I'm driving around blind right now. It's awful.
Tell them that they should be more compassionate.
Yes, for sure.
And have better perspective.
Both sides of the coin. I'm like ginger blindness. Like there has to be some term for this where you can't see during the day without your sunglasses. 505-246-0610. Are there any optometrists listening right now that would like to help me out with my awful vision, my day vision problems?
Yeah, one of two of my favorite callers, Howard, is called in, and he wants to talk a little America's team. And I know there was another caller. Sorry, I missed that. So go ahead and call the line again, 505-246-0610. Howard, you are now on air.
What's up, Howard?
Okay, gentlemen. Okay, let me gather my notes.
Ooh.
Feeling sexy, looking sexy. I threw open my mouth.
Oh, you never hung around with me in person yet, Howard. You don't know this this BSE I'm bringing.
And then you don't wear spectacles, but at times you are a spectacle.
Oh yeah, baby, that's what's up.
Yeah. So now that we're through that, Isaiah, it's time to turn off Van's mic and let's talk about CD Lamb.
Oh, okay.
Let's hear it.
That's what Jerry meant by all in, Van. Pretty lackluster, huh?
Oh, he's finally paying his receiver. That's what all in is called. I would have stood pat. I would have stood pat.
Done.
I would have made him play on his contract this year and then give him this deal next year. You're wasting money, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other huge splash we made in free agency was we signed 2 college running backs, Ezekiel Elliott and Royce Freeman. You know?
Imagine if those guys were in college shape. We'd be like Super Bowl contenders. Favorites.
Let me ask you a question, Isaiah. How much was guaranteed?
Guaranteed is $100 million.
So much money.
$100 million guaranteed, $38 million signing bonus, $136 million 4-year deal.
You have all the terms memorized already?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, look at Isaiah. He's a true blue.
It's carrying me.
I just hope he doesn't snap his leg like a la Aaron Rodgers after 4 downs.
I'm gonna knock on some wood there.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. You too.
Cheers, Howard. We're gonna have more CD Lamb analysis in the 4:30 segment. I'm gonna give Isaiah a full segment to sing CD's praises. I know Cowboy Nation is happy. We've got a lot of Cowboy talk today. Jera, even though CD Lamb should be the big story, he opened his mouth and he's back.
Gosh.
He's back in the news. Our Isham Dental soundbite of the day, spoiler alert, is going to be your boy Dak.
Okay.
So we got a lot of Cowboys talk today. So Cowboys fans and Cowboys haters, boy, do I have the program for you today. But again, back to the sunglass thing. Zay, you have the ability to produce what scientists refer to as melanin, and it saves you from a lot of sun-related issues. Unlike me, the gingeriest ginger in Gingerville. But are you like a sunglasses every day guy?
No, I'm honestly not a sunglass guy at all. I've had my phases, but I think maybe in the future I'll get a better grip and idea of what glasses look good on me. Like I don't know if I'm a oval guy. I don't know if I'm a rectangle guy, if I'm a rounded off guy. I'm sure there's actual terms for it, but I don't know. I usually, if I'm going on like a vacation or to the beach or something, I'll get some sunglasses. But you know, believe it or not, even with the melanin, I can still get tanned and darker. So I don't want the eyeballs, the sunglass eyeballs. It's like a fear of mine. So
I gotta have them. Yeah, I mean, I'm in trouble. It's like it's very, very mild, but my sun blindness is a disability. And I don't know who I need to file with. You know, I was a social worker for years and I spent all that time helping other people. I don't know how to help myself.
I think you maybe get an extra pair of glasses, right? You get 3, but the next time you take your emergency glasses out of the glove department and you don't remember to put those in, just have another pair sitting in the back seat.
Glove department. That's a good name for like a defensive shortstop. I believe it's a glove compartment. The glove compartment.
That's what I meant. A shortstop. That's a good one. But no, I've never been big on sunglasses. My eyes, I have very good eyes, but I don't like things on them. So I think I'm very like protective of them. I have like a fear of, and sunglasses also mess up my peripheral vision. So I feel like I'm going to crash when I have those on.
Zay, you're still young and cool. I think I could see you in like some pit vipers.
Some pit vipers.
those wide Oakleys like that go out in little triangles at the side, like some riffraff and Action Bronson, like some 1992 Jose Offerman kind of things.
Those are the outfielders.
Yeah,
I call those the outfielders.
Yeah, with the like flip or no flip, I can see you rocking those.
I'd get the flip on. I'd put the flip. Do these go the bucket hat? I'll put a bucket hat on. If I want protection from the sun, I'll put my bucket hat on. I'm big on the Kangol hats.
All right, good news. The Albuquerque Aardvarks have an ophthalmologist, which is different than an optometrist. Thanks, I guess. You tried, and I appreciate the effort.
No, I like these pit vipers. Riff Raff definitely pulls them off, but usually when I see these, it's baseball players.
Sure. Oh, it's the classic baseball look.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to steal their swag, right? I'm gonna stay in our own lane. I'll stick to the bucket hat, the producer look.
I mean, you got the bucket hat. I mean, that's a little bit of shade for your eyes. Mm-hmm. I've seen you in hats, not often, but I've seen you in like Build baseball adjacent hats, and that'll protect your eyes.
Okay.
But I forgot until today how sunblind I am. Like, it's dangerous. When I'm done with this program, I am going to make sure that my backup glasses are in the truck, and I got backup to my backup glasses, because I put my community, the community which I love very much here in Albuquerque, I put them in danger today, driving around squinting.
You know, of all days, at least you chose today to leave them, because last week, the way that sun was beaming, you definitely would have caused a couple accidents. And as I just learned the past few hours over there on KKOB, Albuquerque's tightening up with the speed cameras and the red light cameras and the speed humps and things. So hopefully you don't get mailed a $75 fine for passing a red light.
Well, I'm a speed limit guy for multiple reasons.
Okay.
I'm not historically a rule follower, but as far as as far as traffic laws go, like, I'm pretty normal. Maybe like 5 over tops in town. If like the flow of traffic dictates, I get to go a little faster. 10 on the highway tops. If the flow of traffic dictates, I get to go a little faster. But I'm a speed limit guy for multiple reasons, like for safety reasons. And also I have a hybrid. So like used to have the Prius. Now I got a Maverick.
Yeah.
And like speeding around like an idiot, like it's just, I'm wasting money.
Okay. So before I do answer the friend of the show calling, I must say in my hometown, it was a college town, but it was like, as well, I guess you can consider this one, but there's cops all over the place, like all through the side roads, all through the main roads, trying to catch you, like sitting in between the little store parking lots.
All right, get the phone. It might be an optometrist for me to save me from my sun blindness. I might have to start wearing like eye black every day to help with the glare of the days that I forget my sunglasses. So I'm going to have an extra pair of sunglasses in my truck and some eye black strips in my truck. Zay, who we got?
We don't got an ophthalmologist.
Okay.
But that was Forrest Stolting, getting ready to talk about some isotopes.
All right, I tell you what, let's go to break so we can come back with Forrest Stolting. We'll be talking Home Run Derby X. We're going to be talking about the isotopes upcoming week. And we're going to be talking about my new best friend, Manny Ramirez. You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
This report brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
The Albuquerque Journal and
Listen to 2 Men On 95.9 FM AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Fred's not here.
Wah, wah.
It's a Fredless Monday on the program. He'll be back working remote for the rest of the week, leading up into a big Saturday for Fred and Duke City Championship Wrestling as the Locked In event at Rio Rancho Event Center is this Saturday. If you don't have your tickets, hurry up and get your tickets.
You know, when we were at the last one over at Historic El Rey Theater, and I knew that this one was coming on the 31st, it seemed like it was a long time. But now that I look back and reflect, it was the perfect amount of time.
Oh, it's perfect.
It was the perfect amount of time for the build-up, the suspense, and just for you to be ready to look forward to the next one. I'm super pumped for this.
Got some WWE wrestlers coming to town, but more importantly, Champ Thunder and Albuquerque's hero, Hobo Hank, are going to be locked in a cage match for the belt. It's going to be a lot of fun. Forrest Stolting of the Albuquerque Isotopes, my friend, your friend, and me and Manny Ramirez's best friend, join us on the program. Forrest, talk a little bit about the reception from the Home Run Derby X on Friday.
Oh, man, it was quite amazing. First of all, thanks for having me, as always, guys. Home Run Derby was a huge success for us. We had about 12,000 people in attendance. It was really a lot of fun to see all the interaction between the MLB players, the female stars, and even the local players with the fans. I know I was down there with Manny when he was, talking with the first base dugout experience and interacting with the fans in that front row. And he was going on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, chatting them up big time, signing a ton of autographs. It was a lot of fun. I mean, and seeing all the action in the home run zone, all the competitive people going for all the home runs was a lot of fun. So I think overall it was a huge success for us, MLB, and Albuquerque as a whole. I think everybody came away very happy with how the event went.
All right, before we talk about the final, let's talk a little bit about the end of the first round and how that could not have been any more exciting as local sluggers Jared Gay and Connor Mang went at each other. Jared getting 23 points, and then Connor setting almost setting an HRDX record with a walk-off home run and then 26 points in his round. That was pretty electric, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, Jared Gay, he just went on a tear there for the Mariachis in his round to get things going. At 23 points, as you said, he hit some majestic, towering home runs. I was really happy to see him succeed. And then UNM alum Jared Mang for the green chili cheeseburgers. Yeah, they were down 26 points heading into his round, and he just rattled off 8-9 home runs in a row. They're all line drive home runs right through the two targets there. So he was just getting points after points for those. He was just on an absolute tear, and his 27 points actually tied the most points for a round for a single player ever. And so if he would have gone first or second or not gone last, he could have easily routed off 30 points or plus 30 points even, because the dude was on an absolute tear. So it was a really exciting and a fun way to end that first round. And unfortunately knocked Manny and the Mariachis out, but I think that earned Mang the MVP of the whole event for that performance. And you really can't say enough about how well he performed and how exciting that last round was, even down to the wire, because everyone thought 26 points was just insurmountable even for an MLB player to get. But somehow he found a way and really jolted the crowd.
Hey, Forrest, so did we end up setting any records at the ballpark for attendance? I know that was projected. It was going to be up there. I heard it was a huge crowd.
Yeah, so actually this was the biggest attended Home Run Derby X event in their 3-year history. So once again, Albuquerque proved that this is a huge baseball town. They support their Isotopes in all the events that come through Isotopes Park. So we really cannot thank the city of Albuquerque, New Mexico as a whole for coming out and showing their stout fan spirit for this organization, baseball as a whole.
Lobos defeated the Cheeseburgers in the final. It's pretty cool to see Ryan Zimmerman and some more local legends hold that trophy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, what's funny about it is Andrea Howard and Gene Trujillo, the two teammates of Ryan Zimmerman, kind of pulled the weight in that final round. So I think both of them, or Andrea had 16 points in that final round, and then Gene had 18. And I believe Zimmerman only had 10 or 11 points that last round. So it was really fun to see those two locals and two UNM stars kind of take the mantle and shine bright and pull their team to a victory. Because I know we had a huge contingency of Lobo fans in the house, their house section. So it was a really great thing to have those two pull it off and kind of be the catalyst for the win.
Local legend Rob Stratton led the party off. I mean, the reception that he got when he stood up and, already won a home run derby here, won a home run derby elsewhere, and, ended his career, just hanging out here in Albuquerque, became a part of the community. It was so cool seeing him with his standing ovation and reception that he got when he came up to bat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Rob Stratton is a big part of this community. He's a 15-year vet, special ed and social studies teacher at Atrisco Heritage High School here in town. He's been living in Albuquerque for 21 years, so he's really ingrained himself in the community and given a lot back to the community. Obviously, he loved living in Albuquerque so much. During that 2003 season, he decided to stay and become a full-time resident of the 505. And I think he's really enjoyed it, and to see him come back here and put on the jersey one more time and participate as a 46-year-old and succeed as much as he did, hitting some of the longest home runs we saw that night. It's a really cool thing to see. And obviously he was part of the tryout on July 14th we had here at Isotopes Park. And obviously he really impressed us at MLB during that tryout. And man, I got to say, he came through in the clutch under the bright lights, and he did not disappoint one bit, even though the Isotopes team couldn't quite pull it out in that first round. He was their strongest performer for the team. So you got to tip your cap to Rob Stratton, all the support he had. I know I saw his two twins, 7-year-old twins. They were holding up signs saying, come on, Daddy, go on, Robert, do your thing. And so just kind of seeing the support and the community rally around him was something to behold.
Local talent showed up and showed out, but the star of the show was Manny Ramirez. Talk a little bit about the excitement of having Manny back in Albuquerque.
Oh, man. I mean, as per usual, whenever Manny Ramirez is in the house, he's going to bring all the fans out. And as he did this time around, we did those Manny Ramirez Mariachis jerseys for the first 3,000 fans in attendance. Yep. And all the fans absolutely loved those jerseys. It was such a cool thing to see them lining up as they normally do for all our really sweet giveaways. We had lines to the street, trying to get into the ballpark first to make sure they snagged one of those jerseys. But yeah, seeing interact with Manny Ramirez and seeing him interact with the fans was just awesome. He was loving every single minute of it. I even heard him post game that he was saying, I cannot wait to do this again. I'm going to get XYZ players involved in this. He was really ecstatic about the whole event and how it went down and just the whole format of it and how exciting it was and different it was. So he in 2009, he had a rehab assignment here, as you kind of mentioned, and we had over 16,000 fans in the stands for that one when he was in his prime with the Dodgers.
Well, that's above fire code. That's dangerous for us.
I hope the fire marshal isn't listening on here, but yeah, we were really excited to have him back in the house. And obviously he helped sell a whole bunch of tickets just because of his name recognition. And he's one of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time. So it was really fun to see him do his thing. And, man, he still got it. He had a ton of home runs, plenty of power left in the tank there, even at 52. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses in this event as the years go on.
He told me off air that he's bringing Poppy back to town so they could have some Sadies.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
those two guys get back here. Oh, my goodness.
And if you want to hear that interview again, friend of the show, by popular demand, we're bringing it back in the 6 o'clock hour. By the way, anything that you hear on the radio, anything you're worried about you're missing, the boys are on Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast, at Talk ABQ. That's at Talk ABQ. That's also the Instagram link. Come check out all of our content. We had interviews with all the participants from Home Run Derby X. Those are all on Instagram and Facebook as well, at Talk ABQ. Forrest, it's been too long. The Topes are back in town, baby. Let's go.
I know. I cannot. It's been 2 whole weeks. They had a 2-week swing through Texas. And by the way, I'm really excited about to listen to that interview because obviously I wasn't able to listen in on
You're
it.
working, dog.
When he was doing it. I'm so excited to listen to that interview because he looked like he was having a blast. But yeah, that's Topes. They're back in town. Starting tomorrow, we're facing the Reno Aces, affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And it's the first time we'll be playing the Aces this year, so a whole bunch of new faces for fans to come out and see. Should be a whole lot of fun this week at the ballpark. We got something going on almost every single day,
including Taco Tuesday. What's the taco special? I saw some cool pics of Indian tacos on Instagram.
Oh yeah. So we got a number of different options, from Indian fry bread tacos to taco burger to pickle taco. But my absolute favorite, the one I can't wait to try, we're calling it the Orbit Taco. And so what is in this taco? You have a hot dog, you have bacon,
okay,
you have mac and cheese, and you have carne adobada.
Woo.
So it is just a stuffed taco of all the Albuquerque favorites. It's going to be a really, really tasty taco. So you better come down on Tuesday, 6:35 first pitch. Gates open at 5:30. Just make sure you get your fill of Orbit's tacos.
No, that's not spicy, is it? I can't do the spicy.
Got to be a little bit at least. You know where
I'm
we
sure
are.
There's a little spice. I'm sure there's a little spice. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some green chili.
Yeah,
and
I was
mac
gonna
and
say.
cheese, so.
That's where it's gonna get you.
Yeah,
That's where they'll sneak it in there.
I know Orbit likes to party because the ingredients in that taco, that just sounds like a South Valley barbecue.
Oh, exactly. I mean, so this is right up 505's alley. When I heard Chef was putting this together, that was my first instinct, was like, oh my God, this is hitting right in the heart of Albuquerque. And I'm really excited to try this thing out on Tuesday.
Never a bad night to go out to the lab, but Friday's a cool one, Forrest. Have you got color your own hats night?
Yeah, so it's art night. So we're going to have a ton of, creative spaces around the ballpark for fans to show their artistic side, including some dancers performing on field and on the concourse. But as you mentioned, we have color your own hat. So it's essentially, it's an all white hat with a red bill and a white bottom part of the bill. And there's an Isotopes colored in logo on the front, but on the back sides of the bill of the hat, you have different Isotopes and baseball themed pictures on there that you can color in. So it's kind of like a coloring book for a hat. I'm looking at one right now, and it is just incredible how you can make this thing pop with the right colors. I mean, it's a really cool hat. It's a great way to engage your kids and entertain them throughout the game with this thing, and they can, spend probably a few weeks coloring this in, because there's a lot on here that you can color in. Orbit, Isotopes logo, a bat, a glove, another hat. I mean, there is just all kinds of things on here that you can spend some time coloring in.
Forrest, if I ever create a product, I'm going to hire you to help me sell it.
I appreciate that, Zay. I try to make sure I go as detailed as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be a sweet Labor Day weekend, as Saturday is Native American Heritage Night with some fireworks, and Sunday, my favorite, day baseball.
Yes, sir. So at 1:35, first pitch on Sunday, 12:30, gates open. We're going to have our second Bark in the Park day. So bring all your pups down to the stadium. We're going to have a dog parade pregame starting at about 1:10. Meet by section 116. Really cool time to show off your dog to all the Isotopes fans, make them all jealous of your beautiful pup. We're also giving away some steel dog bowls as well with the Isotopes logo on there. It's an orange dog bowl. So while your dog's really thirsty, he can be drinking in style with an Isotopes steel dog bowl.
Nice. Forrest, next to last homestand, make sure you get your dose of the Topes before summer is over. Anything else for the friends of the show before we let you go, Forrest?
I mean, I think we hit it all. I mean, as you just mentioned, you only have 2 homestands remaining in the season, so That's 12 games. We have this 6-game homestand this week. First pitch, 6:35 Tuesday to Saturday, 1:35 first pitch on Sunday. And then our final homestand of the season begins on September 10th against Las Vegas, which runs all the way through September 15th. So if you want to come catch your Topes, you better come do it quick because somehow the summer has flown by and we are in the home stretches of the season. Only have 4 more weeks of the season to go, 2 homestands and 2 road trips. So you better come down to Isotopes Park and get your Topes filled.
It's almost sweatshirt season.
Let's go.
Oh, my goodness. Cannot wait.
Forrest Stolting, Mr. Everything at your Albuquerque Isotopes. Thank you so much, good friend.
Of course, man. Thank you. Have a great day. All right.
When we get back, Zay gushes over his favorite player's new contract, and he tells you why it's the greatest move in the history of sports. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report
Welcome back, Duke City. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On. And welcome back to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. All right, should I just take this whole segment off, or you want me to participate?
Oh, no,
or
definitely.
What's going on here, Zay?
Definitely participate. Friends of the show, if you're listening, participate. Just give me like a few minutes because I gotta answer the phone, and it's kind of hard to do both.
So
get my takeout and take the phone call.
What we're talking about, friend of the show, is it finally happened after weeks of speculation. Your Dallas Cowboys or your hated Dallas Cowboys, there's really no middle. And wide receiver CeeDee Lamb agreed to terms on a 4-year, $136 million extension to make him the second highest paid wide receiver in all of football. Zay, the floor is yours.
Well, you know what this was for me? So, you know those racing games where you're in a race and you're starting to lose, but they give you the option to hit the nitrous button, and then you just boost your all, and you wait to the finish line, and then you hit your nitrous, and then that's when you use the rest of your energy. That's what this was for me today, because I woke up this morning, my power shut off. I wake up, sitting on the toilet, right, doing my just like you, get my thoughts together.
Yeah, for sure.
And then boom, my power goes off. And I'm like, okay. And I look at the top of my phone and I see it's on 2%. And I'm like, all righty. So I need my phone. So now I have to leave much earlier than I was planning to leave so that I can charge my phone. And I get here to work and boom, the news hits. CD signs. And what's super sweet about this, right? And it's confusing. And it makes me wonder if they're all in this together, because I remember reporting on this show that CD wanted $34 million a year, which was $1 million less than Justin Jefferson. And we all agreed that was a solid deal. Sure. I thought that I give you props, right? You're not trying to be the most highest paid. And then Jerry, I guess the deal didn't happen. And I'm wondering why the deal's not happening. And I'm thinking, if he's asking to be the second highest paid and it's not being signed, maybe that report was wrong. And maybe he actually wants to be paid the most. And that's why Jerry hasn't made the deal happen. And this whole time I'm thinking that CD wants to be the highest paid. Maybe he wants closer towards 40. He gets signed at 34 annually. So he takes $1 million less than Justin Jefferson annually. Perfect. And I think it's a good deal.
It's perfect.
And like a lot of athletes do, when they, have a little bit of pride and they do want to be paid like the top guy, they go hit that signing bonus. So what he got in the signing bonus was $2 million more than Justin Jefferson's signing bonus. So in a way, so CD's at 38 million, Justin Jefferson was 36.9 million actually. So CD took $1 million less per year, but his signing bonus was $1 million more. So in CD's mind, he got the highest signing bonus ever for a wide receiver. So as far as he's concerned and his pride, he can still feel like we value him as much as Justin Jefferson is valued. So hopefully that makes him feel wanted and respected. And the best thing about it is he didn't have to wait till week 1. And we're not so worried about him coming in rusty and getting injured or getting hit, because he's not used to being, in pads and being in physical play, because he's got about 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks. And that's about all you really need at wide receiver to get acclimated. So I think Jerry got this done. It's Monday. It's the start of the practice week. So he can go through 2 full weeks of practice with the team. And it's just in time for the Cleveland Browns. So it's great.
First, as every man, as everyday citizen, as completely belligerently average human being Van Nunley, except for I have 20/20 vision, except for when I'm in the sun, looking at this contract, it's just a disgusting amount of money.
It is.
It is insane. Obviously, it's a year-round job, blah, blah, blah. But to work 17 weeks, you're getting $2 million a week to do your job. This is a disgusting amount of money for a kid who gets to play a children's game on national television with millions of fans adoring. It makes me sick how disgusting this bag that CD just got. It is offensive how much money this is to play a game.
And that's the thing.
What happened to paying our teachers more? CD, make it rain on these teachers. Make it rain on all these mental health professionals that are going to be completely overloaded with work once Trump loses the election and they have mental breakdowns and they wish they'd had universal health care and they're supporting the wrong team because they can't afford a psychiatrist and they need one. Let's pay these people more because they're going to be working too hard. Let's pay all of the city workers more. Let's increase the salary for the minimum wage and help the everyday person survive in this economy.
You know what they're going to say, though? They're going to pull out the good old WNBA argument.
Yeah.
Well, how much money money is that generating? And it's as much as that's true, you do look at the facts of it, and it's like, wow, that's absolutely insane. And the thing about those signing bonuses, I think most people know, but for those who don't, because I didn't know for that long, the signing bonus is what they get immediately. Like that's what smacks their account when they sign. That's not so the 136 million, that's over, the course of 4 years, and 100 I think 100 million of that's guaranteed.
100 million even is guaranteed, correct.
But that's 38 million, whatever his bank account was at, add 38 million to that.
It's bonkers. As everyday man, I think it's disgusting. As a talk show host and a genius prognosticator, this is the perfect amount of money. This is the perfect contract.
Yeah.
They did it just right. He gets to be a top 3 guy, and he doesn't have to be the most. He doesn't have to reset the market. It's the right amount of money for the right player. Even though perennially, every single year, the Cowboys are overrated. I understand the lure. I understand the aura. I understand how big of a deal the Cowboys are. And if you can be the number 1 wide receiver on the Dallas Cowboys and bring home that big ass bag, you're going to work your rear end off to make sure you hold up your end of the bargain and you give your team and you give your fans and you give NFL fans their money's worth. And I think he's got his head on straight. I think that he's the type of guy that's going to continue to put in the work and not just cruise on this contract, because his family, generations down the road, if he doesn't do something stupid with this money, they're set up for so long. This is generational, life-changing money, and I don't think he's going to spoil this.
And here's the thing, a couple things. One thing about CD that he showed me last year is when they lost to the 49ers bad, and he went to Mike McCarthy after the game, and they had a meeting, and he was upset, and he demanded the ball more. And then right after that, he went on a tear and was like 100, way more than that, like in more 160 and 200 one time, multi-touchdown games. So it's like this guy, when he's going to ask for the pressure and ask for the load to be handed to him, and he's also going to produce. And with this deal taking so long, I wonder, because I know Jerry didn't mind making him the second highest paid. I bet the discussion was with that guaranteed money or the signing bonus money. I bet that's where Jerry was being stubborn, because it's not like this was something that he's like, oh, it's sitting on my desk and we'll get to it, but I got other stuff I got to get to first. There were discussions and they weren't able to come to an agreement. But I do know that CD made known that he wanted $34 million a year weeks ago. So I bet that it was that signing bonus, that $38 million signing bonus.
Yes.
I wonder if Jerry was trying to make him be second for the signing bonus and the guaranteed money, because Jefferson still has $10 million more guaranteed overall. So I bet Jerry was trying to give him less than 36.9, and CD's like, no, I want 38 million guaranteed signing bonus.
They got it done finally. Now they can move on to their next superstar who's holding out, and then after that, they'll take care of their other overrated superstar who's holding out.
I hope.
But Cowboy Nation, rejoice! You got your WR1. He's going to catch an insane amount of balls this year. 2,000, and we'll talk. 2,000 yards, make it really worth the money.
Yes.
And we'll hit a little more on this in the 5 o'clock hour on Zay's Cowboy Corner. But when we get back, it's not the Isham Dental soundbite of the day, but I got a soundbite for you. And I'm falling in love with this guy more and more every day. And we'll hit you with that when we get back. You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items.
95.9 FM, AM 610, Esports Animal. I am falling in love with this kid's personality. I'm talking about new wide receiver on the Buffalo Bills, Keon Coleman. He is as entertaining as a human being could be. He's adorable. He's sweet. He's kind. And he's unironically the funniest dude in the NFL. I got a little snippet for you, friends of the show. Hit it, Zay.
You're just stay good. Perfect. You're great. Thank you. I got a question. Which signature I'm gonna put my whole name on kind of signs? Whichever way you go, sign it. I'm saying like I'm signing the autograph. Or like, yeah. I'm saying I don't sign the autograph and put my whole name. Like I put your whole name. See that what I was asking? You making it hard.
That was Keon Coleman asking the general manager of the Buffalo Bills how to sign his contract. He didn't know if he had to write his name in or sign his signature or put what he considered his autograph.
The guy's like, sign your full name, Keon.
Yeah, your full name.
We're professionals here.
Yeah. But what's the difference? A signature is a signature. Most signatures are just scribble. You can there's very few like athletes, actors, musicians whose signature you can actually read their whole name.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And I feel like the whole point of a signature is something that it's yours and it's like the way you write it.
Correct.
So if you just write, I mean, maybe your handwriting can be super specific.
Yeah.
But if you just write your name out, I mean, it's not gonna look so like something that you wrote unless it's like directly you have terrible handwriting. Your handwriting's like third grade level.
Sure.
But I think
which mine is. So I get it. Right here. Look, here's the map. Here's our show map, friend of the show.
Nice.
I look like a child. I have the handwriting of a child, and my signature's even worse.
You know, the worst feeling was back in elementary school. It stopped happening in middle school. But elementary, I would write like a page or an essay or short story, whatever the assignment was, and the teacher would literally give it back and say they couldn't read it. Like, your handwriting's that bad. And in my mind, I was just rushing. Yeah. Like, no, I can't read this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Well, in my defense, bad handwriting is a sign of a genius level of intelligence because my brain moves faster than my hand. So suck it. Keon Coleman is must-see TV. I'm super stoked for all of his post-game interviews all year. I hope his play on the field matches. When we get back, it's your boy Dak, Zay, with our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. 1 hour in the books, 2 more to go. You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Slow with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Five o'clock hour, Duke City. Hope you don't got a case of the Mondays. It's easy not to have a case of the Mondays when you crack a little Teller vodka pre-made cocktail like I just did. I got the grapefruit hibiscus sitting next to me right now. My little case of the Mondays seems to go away pretty easy when I got Teller vodka by my side.
I thought I was wondering what you were drinking. I thought it was maybe some grapefruit water or something.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. Nah. No, I mean, grapefruit water, yes. Those are two ingredients. You forgot one, vodka. Yeah, vodka in it, too. Check out Isham Dental, ishamdentalabq.com. Go see our buddy Scott. He could do it all. Same day dentures. You get fitted, you get your molds, you get your dentures all in one day. 3900 Eubank Boulevard Northeast, Building A, Suite 5. Give them a call, 505-881-0422. Check them out at ishamdentalabq.com and get your appointment as easy as filling in your name on their website, ishamdentalabq.com. Zay, without further ado, here's your boy Dak.
You're not the first.
And our Isham Dental soundbite of the day.
Somebody pour me a drink. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I think we're talking about the finer things. I think it goes without saying that I'm fine. Maybe the wrong ones started the whole ankle gate or something is this and that. I told you guys before, I don't want to necessarily nosedive back into what happened in the off season. Yeah, I'm fine. There's no ankle gate or anything like that. And honestly, I've got a guy for that, Luke. Whether it's winning or losing, there's no losers around here. So we've got to make sure that we get these guys in the winning mindset. All right. Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry. I just trying to be present right here. Trying to be present, you know. Be where my feet are, you know. Got to have the heart. Got to have the heart.
What we were listening to, friends of the show, is insanely overrated. Black Kirk Cousins, QB1 of your Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, playing one of my favorite games where they give him a sheet of whatever it may be, and he slides those terms into the interview. And what he was doing, every time you heard a ding, he said one of the tracks from Post Malone's new album, F1 Trillion, which Post Malone, if you don't know, one of the biggest artists in the world, did a country album.
Oh, boy.
With basically a different country music artist in almost every song. And he got 8 out of 20.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah, he did good. He did real good.
He had some help with it there at the end. You know, Post Malone's a big Prescott fan, big Cowboy fan.
No, 100%.
So
he wears the upside down letter Dallas hat, just like Dak wears. Yeah, Post Malone's one of the biggest Cowboys fans, and vice versa. I see the Cowboys are now Post Malone fans. Look, as stupid and derivative and low-hanging fruit and football talk and boring and repetitive and cliche as interviews are in the sports world.
Yeah.
This is adding a little fun to it. And I enjoy this because the players know almost every question that's going to be asked of them. Oh, how do they know the questions ahead of time? Either they give them the questions or it's the same questions that they've been asked their whole career. So please, for the love of God, guys, have some fun when you're doing this. Because this isn't by choice. They're literally forced to, in their contract, do post-game, pre-game, all these interviews. They have to in their contract, or, like Marshawn Lynch said, they're just here so they don't get fined.
And I think Dak's one of those guys. He's been through so many of those situations where he's probably just numb to it at this point.
Yeah.
And I bet if you were to ask the NFL players, they would prefer this type of deal more often because you go up there and you like you said, you already know what the questions are going to be. But also, and I'm sure there was some type of sponsorship or some deal here that, Dak was involved in. You go up here, name drop those. And that's what Post Malone's got going for him, too. Not only is he super popular, he's a fan of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
So it's super easy for them to do things like this.
And I guess like by your general surprise when I told you that Post Malone made a country music album, you haven't heard this yet. Zay.
No, I didn't know he dropped one. Usually it comes across my phone. Post Malone drops.
So I didn't know how many bangers Post Malone had. Like, we're lucky to do some really cool stuff in this industry, like covering the Super Bowl every year. And last year in Vegas, we got to go to a limited seating, like private concert for Post Malone.
Wow.
And I'm not the biggest Post Malone fan. Like, I'm more of a fan of the kind of person he is, his personality, like how he treats, air quotes, normal people. Like, he's just a normal dude that just so happened to get super famous. Like, talented artist, talented songwriter, blah, blah, blah. Thought he was just like a auto-tune SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
But like, he just keeps cranking out all these hits. So I was at that concert in Vegas, and I really only know like 3 of his songs. Like, I'm going to be honest, like White Iverson, like that's a banger.
Of course.
Like, I mean, he's got some bangers out there. But I was sitting there at the concert, like, oh my God, I know this song. Like, oh my God, I know this song. Oh my God, I know this song. So like he did like an hour straight, like straight bangers over and over again. I was like, oh my God, this guy's like a hit maker. Like, I'm sorry, Posty. I didn't know about your game.
Yeah, I think everybody went through that period where they heard him first and they didn't know what he looked like. And then you look at him and you're like, no way, that's him. And I'm looking at some of the other songs on this track list. That could have easily fit California Sober in there.
Yeah.
He could easily said, we play the Chargers. I'll make sure I'm in California Sober. Missing you like this. He could have slid a little playoff line in there. I've been missing you like this, missing the playoffs. Never Love You Again.
Yeah.
Maybe hit Jerry with that if we don't give him his money.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have slid in. We're going to hoist that Lombardi trophy and then go to MEX ICO. Yeah, he did pretty good, though.
Yeah, Dax, I will say, and everybody who even dislikes him will give him credit. He's one of the best interview guys you can ever come across in the NFL. And he's got that little Jerry thing to him. I don't know if he's been around Jerry too long, but they go and
anybody who's been around Jerry has been around Jerry too long.
Bitak will be like, yeah, and then I stepped back and really had to evaluate it, and then you hear Stephen Jones talk, and they're like, and I'm like, oh gosh, what are they doing to him? What are they doing to him? They're going to make him take a contract for way less than what he's worth.
So, post new single, What Don't Belong to Me, banger.
Really?
So what I did is, like, if anything that's like super huge in pop culture, obviously like on this program, we're more than just sports. So anything that's like super big in pop culture, I like having my ear to the street. I like knowing what's going on. If there's a new TV show that's super popular, I like to get a little taste. I watch it for a minute. New albums drop that the whole country, like this time last year, I even listened to friggin' Taylor Swift. I was forced in my career to listen to Taylor Swift.
Was Kelsey?
She's fine. She is fine. Nothing is wrong with her music. She's lovely.
But
same thing with Post Malone here with his new country album. It was all over the internet, rave reviews all over the place, album of the summer, blah, blah, blah. So what I did is I had some yard work to do. So I put on my little migrant worker costume. I had my boots, I had my jeans, I had my WB on. I had my WB, my stretchy sleeveless shirt. We're not supposed to call them WBs, like the whole name anymore. I had an A shirt on, and then on top of that, I had my pearl snap, and I had my cowboy hat, I had my gloves, and I was working in the yard, and I put in Post Malone's new album, and I'm like, this doesn't suck.
Okay, it's a good evaluation.
It doesn't suck at all. It's just like Post Malone, like cosplayed a 90s country singer, and with his hit-making abilities, he made, if you're a country fan, I'm assuming it's banger after banger, and it was easy listening, listen to the whole thing without noticing it was over, but only one song stood out that I liked, and it's his current single, What Don't Belong to Me. Actually a good song. Okay. Very derivative, very cookie cutter, very cliche country songs, like the same topics, the same lyrics. Like, I was listening to it, and I was like predicting the next line, and I was like, "Oh, you're going truck mention next." Boom, got him. I was like, "Uh-oh, nope, he's going to end up shooting this guy at the end of the song." Shoots the guy at the end of the song. But yeah, if you're a country fan, like, it's every song like could be on the radio right now, and you wouldn't know if it was from the 90s or now, if it sucked or if it was a banger. It's just like he just slides right into the genre. He did his thing.
Recently I've been liking the old school music a lot more, and I think I want to start trying to bring back the old school style. I'm going to bring back the 80s look for sure. I'm going to do my part. And you notice,
let's go.
I definitely want to bring back the 80s look, the LL look. I'm leaning into it as I lean into this producer role here at Cumulus. I'm like, I might as well dress the part. But you mentioned that you started listening to Taylor Swift last year at this time.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, have they been together that long?
Yeah.
And they have. It's July of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. It seems like that was 8 months ago at least.
Yeah, or less. Yeah, it's been that long ago. I was like, okay, all right, Taylor Swift, biggest deal in the world. I guess I got to dip my toe in and listen to it, because the only song I knew was "Shake It Off." Like,
oh wow,
that song there. Yeah, I mean that's all I knew, and apparently, like, she had another 10 albums after that. Shows what I know. And I was like, it's okay. I get why people like it. Not for me. I get why people like it.
That's important, as long as you can understand what everybody else is thinking.
Speaking of bringing back fashion trends, you know what I love recently? I think it's like for dudes, it's like as revolutionary as yoga pants are for women.
Don't say crop tops.
No, no, Zeke ran that into the ground a long time ago. So these like athletic shorts, the like a level up from like swim trunks. You know what I'm talking about? Just like the short mid thigh athletic shorts, got the zipper pockets. They're super light, super breathable, super breezy. They're like swim trunk material.
I know exactly.
But they're a little bit nicer. Like I bought like 8 pairs this summer. I'm like, oh my God, is this socially acceptable that I get to wear athletic shorts everywhere? Like, this is awesome.
See, for me, I've got like a wider upper body, and I need to do my part to get the legs built a certain way so that I can wear those. I'm getting to that point now. I've been hitting the elliptical consistently for a few months. I'm starting to notice a little bit of size. I don't want to, look at my legs too much. I'm like, pause. But I appreciate the muscles coming in, and I think that give me another month and I'll be able to wear those, but it'll be almost time to stop wearing those. So I'm going to have to break those out next spring.
But whenever yoga pants got super popular with the ladies, like 8 or 10 years ago, whenever it really took off, I was like, thank you, Lord. Like, this is amazing. Wow, like the ladies, they're comfortable, they're confident, they're happy. They put on a little walk-in show for the dudes all the time. But now, like, this is like the summer of thigh skin for the boys. Like, I've been showing so much leg this summer with these athletic shorts. Like, now they're like socially acceptable to wear these things everywhere. Like, because the same thing happened with yoga pants. It was like yoga pants are only acceptable in the yoga studio. They're only acceptable in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're everyday athleisure for the ladies. And I am so happy that these little booty shorts for dudes, like breathable, like, hey, the boys, not the boys,
not the problem,
not the boys of 2 Men On. I'm talking about the boys are so breathable this summer. The swampiness, adios. Like, this is fantastic. I love it so much.
No one can deny the impact of yoga pants, and they got banned at my middle school.
Shut up.
So when they started becoming popular, I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
And they started girls
that long then. Okay.
Yeah, I was in 7th grade. So the girls they had a little trend where every Friday they put on yoga pants. So guys were literally coming to school on Fridays, like anticipating that. And it became something that the teachers caught wind of. So they talked with the principal and yoga pants got banned and the girls were not allowed to wear yoga pants. There's already a rule for shorts. Like you have to put your arms down.
Oh, that's existed since I was in school.
Okay, cool.
And I'm almost 20 years older than you. Like that's been around.
But the yoga pants, they're like, no, you can't wear them. And it's weird because if they tried to pull that off, someone would say, why? And then all of a sudden the school's in hot water because it's like, explain why they can't wear the yoga pants. And they could be a whole big thing, but that wasn't really a thing either back at that time. So we just accepted it. But yeah, yoga pants got banned at my middle school.
That is wild. But hey, you can't do it now because literally everyone wears them.
Haha.
Yeah, I'm into it. I got a bunch of pairs. I wear them every day now. I was like, thank you, whoever started this trend. Thank you. It's not just for the gym anymore. Your boy gets to show a little thigh meat out here.
I'm gonna have to get them off Temu because the Nike version of those, they'll charge you like $60 for this 2 ounces of clothing. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah, there's no way.
Sorry. Let me go on Temu. They don't pay us, of course.
Yeah, unpaid plug by Zay Johnson here.
And get my little bundles off of there. And we'll see how those shape up.
All right, when we get back, I'll be sitting here in my little short shorts, my super breathable athletic short shorts, and I'll be telling you about how Deion Sanders is on one. And Zay, I know you're feeling it too. Mm-hmm. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
Do you know your number? No, not your credit score number, not your sleep number.
Welcome back, Duke City. Welcome back to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. I remember there was a point right at the beginning of Deion Sanders' reign at the University of Colorado where he said he's going to be an open book. He's going to answer all questions, and he is open to criticism because he is a truth teller, and he will kick you straight, and he will tell it like it is.
So says most bosses.
Yeah. And our experts have determined that was a lie. Deion Sanders, liar and hypocrite, is kicking people out of press conferences and refusing to answer questions from the media if they're being too critical about him, his kids, and his program. Most recently, I lost the guy's name. Going blank. CBS Sports Denver. I'll find the gentleman's name. Refused to answer his questions and will blackball him in press conferences and post-game interviews. And this is a coward move. This is cowardly, and it is below Deion. I mean, come on. How much does Deion Sanders love attention? Guy's name is Sean Keeler. Being very critical of Deion Sanders and how he's being overhyped and his team's being overrated. He's trying to speak little truth to power, and he's been blackballed by Deion Sanders. But a guy who loves attention as much as Deion Sanders, and who, I mean, let's face it, his team, his marketing team, his social media team, both for him, the person, and his children, and the University of Colorado are geniuses. There's never been more hype for a garbage football program in the history of college football. They are the most covered and overrated team in the history of college football. And finally, someone's calling him out on it, and he's refusing to answer those questions. It's pretty pathetic.
You know, Deion says he loves to coach kids, and that's what a lot of people say about him, that he likes to coach kids. And that's why they don't think he's going to go coach in the NFL. And that's why a lot of us didn't know that he was coaching for so long before college, because he was coaching little leagues. You know, he was coaching Shador all the way growing up. But I think that Deion needs to be in 100% control, and not only in control of the football team, but I think he needs to control what goes on outside the football team as well. And this is a situation where a coach shouldn't be doing this, but he feels so much power that he's doing it. Now, a little league team, this obviously wouldn't be the case. This wouldn't happen. But in college, you're in that little sweet spot where you have to handle it like a professional, but you're also still dealing with kids too. And he's trying to flex his power, but you can't do that because it's a whole organization. So I think Deion needs to go coach in the NFL, because that's where he has his ego because of the NFL. I know he played baseball as well, but the NFL is where his career peaked. That's where that's where he was. So I think if he was in the NFL, he would feel like he was in a more respectable place and he wouldn't have these lash outs. Whereas him being in college, I feel like he's looking down on people and he's like, oh, I'm Deion. I can do this. I can do that. But if he's in the league, he's going to be like, these are the Buffalo Bills, or this is so-and-so. I can't take over this organization. So I think he has more respect for an NFL team. So I think this will keep happening, and he'll eventually leave because he's going to think, oh, these guys are soft, or I don't like these guys. And he's going to think the grass is greener, and he'll eventually end up in the leagues.
I hard disagree. The problem is I don't think he's that good of a coach.
Ooh.
I think for Deion Sanders to be successful, he has to be as swag. Okay, before I go on, let me say, I applaud his confidence. I applaud his swagger. I love every second of it. But if you're going to be like that, if you're going to have a personality like Deion Sanders, especially for an underperforming team, you talk the talk, you have to walk the walk.
Yeah.
You can't be underperforming and think that you're going to be free of criticism just because you're a Hall of Fame NFL player who wears cool glasses. Look, with that being said, as a coach, I think he's overrated. He has to surround himself with top shelf coordinators, top shelf position group coaches, and recruit. He has to use his platform. He has to use his notoriety to make sure that he gets the best players, because otherwise he's going to get exposed as being not the greatest coach in the world.
I think he would be a much better position coach.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I think
his ego would never allow it.
Yes. And that's the thing. I think he needs to be a position coach, but because he wants power, he wants to be the head coach because he wants to be in power and he thinks he knows best. Now, he did play both sides of the ball, and obviously he was great both sides of the ball, and he even went and played baseball. So I'm sure in his mind he feels like anything I try to do, I can pull it off. But Deion Sanders would be an exceptional position coach. And another reason I say that is because not only was I say cornerback coach, if I can be more specific.
Sure.
Because one thing position coaches really need is you need the ability to be inspiring. Now, they're usually looser than a head coach, and Deion's obviously a loose personality.
Yeah.
And I think he's also a good motivator, and him being Deion Sanders motivates a group of people. So I think that if he could just put all his energy into a specific group of DBs, he'd be one of the best DB coaches, because who can tell Deion Sanders how to play DB?
Right.
But as a head coach, there's too many qualities that you need. That's much more than just knowing how to play the sport.
Yeah, I'll say it again. Like, as a head coach, I think he's overrated with X's and O's and preparation and going up against a specific offense or defense, and that's fine. I've yelled at the top of the Sandias that in college football, head coaches don't matter. A head coach has to be the face of the program. You have to keep everything in order, and you better have the best coordinators. Deion Sanders needs to use, he started off very well. He needs to use his fame, his notoriety, his people skills, and his swag. There's not a lot of 60-year-old football coaches who have swag and personality and will attract cool young kids to your program. It's a huge draw. Just name value alone. Like, he needs to focus on getting the best players to Colorado. He needs to focus on getting the most money possible for NIL to make sure that he recruits and attracts and keeps and pays, more importantly, the best talent in the country, and leave the X's and O's to his coordinators. Be the face of the franchise, be the face of the program, recruit the best players, get your team the most money because you are Deion Sanders.
Yeah, and I think another thing about him being a head coach and him having good coordinators is you look at this with the Cowboys and Jerry, and you wonder, will they ever get a super good coach? Will he ever want to deal with Jerry Jones? And then you look at Deion, and he went and got Warren Sapp. I'm sure they know each other off the field and they have a relationship, and that's why he's there. Yeah. But if he doesn't have somebody that he knows like that, I can't imagine that whoever it is would like playing with him above them. Because I have a feeling that he would be one of those guys that would make you feel like you're walking on eggshells.
Sure.
And even if something wasn't your fault and it was his fault, you'd be way too scared to tell him it was his fault. Like, I can't imagine anybody in that whole facility will ever tell him he's wrong. Like, I guarantee it's one of those situations where he can say something and say the complete opposite thing right after. And then you want to be like, Coach, but you just said to go to the B gap, and now you're saying go to the A gap.
Sure.
And then just for saying that, now you're pulled off the field for talking back.
I just mentioned that he needs to get as much money as possible, and him and his NIL people went after that big bag. They went after that oil money. And specifically, I'm not talking about Texas oil money.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Permian Basin, Southeast New Mexico oil money. I'm talking about Saudi oil money. As reports have surfaced that Deion Sanders and his people who reached out to the Saudi Arabian, what's the public fund? What is that called again? I forget. Come on, brain. PIF.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia's PIF, an unprecedented move, trying to get Saudi money, live golf style,
to sponsor. First thing I thought of was golf.
Exactly. Yeah. Live golf style to sponsor the University of Colorado Buffaloes. This is like, it's spicy. It is spicy, but this is kind of a boss move. Like, why are you going after, middle Colorado NIL money when you could get the Saudis? They bought half of the PGA Tour. They created their own golf tour in like 6 months. You know how much money they could infuse into one single solitary college football program?
I do give him a lot of props for coming up with that idea if it works out, though. Is there any rules against it, you believe? Like, you can only get NIL money from this country.
There's no rules anymore. This is the Wild West. No, better that. This is the wild Middle East of college football, and they are absolutely going after it. Like, why not try?
This is about equivalent to Phil Knight infusing a bunch of money into Oregon.
Yeah.
Maybe even worse.
Sure. Yeah.
I guarantee Saudi can play big bank, little bank with Phil Knight.
Saudi can buy Nike today. Phil Knight will not let them, but Saudi Arabia, they could buy Nike 100 times over. That is bleep you money. That is aggressive, the amount of money that they have over there. They just buy whatever they want.
So what does he do? So say this goes through and he gets this unlimited money. So what, you just basically set the market with a bunch of these 5-star recruits to start. Okay, Alabama.
Yeah.
We can throw way more at them than you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty.
The best wide receiver in the country. Like, oh, who's your favorite player? CeeDee Lamb. Do you want the exact same contract as your favorite player? Welcome the Boulder. Welcome the Boulder. Here's my friend Ahmed.
That's hilarious.
Also, they could have like special alternative jerseys that that look like the headcloth and the robe, like
the Saudi unis.
Yeah, the Italian restaurant checker table cloth, and then the robes. Those would be the dopest alternate jerseys in the country if they drop those.
So Deion's balancing it out now. At first, I was against him, but now he's making up for it a little bit.
I mean, I get it. Like, morally, you should have a little bit of problem with taking all that money. But who are we as Americans to judge another country? Did you sleep through elementary, middle school, high school, and college history? Do you not know anything about the history of your country? Who are you to judge Saudi Arabia? Do you know anything about us?
I will say a lot of people don't understand, and I repeat, when you leave the country, it's not that we're like laughing stocks, but we're kind of like, we're the bullies that everyone's like scared of, but has not gotten enough courage to talk trash about the bully, but you still don't want to mess with them.
Sure. Oh, duh.
That's exactly how they look at us. Like, they say this and say that, but they don't go past a certain line. But a lot of countries look at us that way. And I hope we're not out here being too judgmental.
Yeah. You say you love Jesus Christ, but you're not living very Christ-like.
Yeah.
You do not feed the hungry. You do not help the sick. The richest country in the world. Where is your universal health care? Yeah, we're not the glowing reputation of the world like we used to have.
That's where I was getting smoked.
Nowhere else in the world I'd rather live, baby.
And that's the thing. I was gone, but I really almost teared up when I saw American Cops for the first time. Like, and I tell you what, I'm over there in Europe, and they don't. It was weird. Like, I'd walk past them, and if I turned over my shoulder, none of them would double take look at me, no more than the people would, and they just seemed really chill there. But some part of me, I started to really miss America, and when it was time to come back, and I saw like an American officer, I was like, "No way, I'm back! Like, I'm here. We are so back. We're back in America, and there's no better feeling than coming back to the country after you leave."
All right, Deion, you're on one. I'm rooting for you. I'm here for the show. We're obviously going to be talking about Deion all year. I hope the results back up all the talk. Speaking of talk, Jerry Jones opened his dumb mouth again, and Isaiah Johnson's going to talk about it on his Cowboy Corner when we get back. You're listening to 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Bet Online.
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform.
Welcome back, friends of the show. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM AM 610, The Sports Animal. A lot of cowboy talk today, Isaiah. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a good day to start it.
I'm going to put this quote up, and then, Zay, you can take over Cowboy Corner. Also, 505-246-0610. van@talkabq.com. Any big Cowboys fans out there? You want to be slap your name on Zay's Cowboy Corner?
Go ahead and throw it on there.
Reach out to the Friends of the Show hotline, 505-246-0610. Call or text, or you could email me at van@talkabq.com, as well as going to @talkabq on Instagram and just slide into my DMs.
No.
It's not creepy if you want to help out the show. And if you're some thirst trap, that is creepy. Quit trying to hit on me in the DMs. You know who you are.
Let's hear it.
No one can be a better GM any better than I can. Quote, Jerry Jones. Zay, thoughts, feelings?
It depends on what scale we're rating them on.
Okay. Go on.
There's a lot of things
be
that
an apologist.
Okay, there's a lot of things that go into being a GM, right?
Yeah.
You got money.
You manage things generally.
Yes, yeah. You got your money. So the Cowboys definitely have the money part down pat. I don't have the numbers, but he has like multiplied their net worth by a lot. So he's done his part there. I don't know if there's anybody else we could argue would have been able to take the Cowboys back in '89 and turn them into what they've became now. So as far as that end of it goes,
in '89 he bought them for $140 million. They're worth over $10 billion now.
Okay. So that's what, technically over like 1,000%.
Yeah, wild.
So, and then you've got the winning side of things. No, he hasn't won in a long time, but he does have 3 rings, right? He's got 3 rings. The franchise is 5. So he's won more than the franchise had when he got there. And recently, believe it or not, he does hear the chatter about him not being good. And so do the people around him. Because I remember about 10 years ago when Stephen Jones started having a little bit more of a say as far as what went on. They got Will McClay in there. He handles the draft. So Jerry kind of sits back and he signs off on everything and he throws in his input. And I think that recently he's been getting irritated because he feels like he's sitting back taking the blame when in reality, Stephen Jones and Will McClay are making a lot of these choices and they're influencing a lot of his choices. Because I went and looked at the quote, and another thing he said was, I just can't imagine. I don't have anybody around me that I would let do it, or that I don't have anybody around me that could do it better than me.
That's, in his head, that's probably super true.
And it is. And what that does for the people listening is for years and years, all Cowboys fans have expected Stephen Jones to take over.
He's 81, by the way.
Jerry, correct?
Yes.
So we're all expecting Stephen Jones to take over. So for Jerry to go out and basically say out his mouth, he doesn't think Stephen could handle that position with everybody saying Jerry's so close to death. Well, that's what everybody refers to. Everyone's like, he's older. He's not going to be here much longer. And Stephen Jones is going to have to take over. And then you got him come out and say out of his own mouth, he doesn't think Stephen can do it. And I think that's a very, very slight shot at Stephen, because I think there's some decisions that Stephen has influenced him on, or some decisions that Stephen has made that's resulted in some of our failures, and he's taking the heat for it. So I think he's fed up now. And I'm also seeing that Dalvin Cook's flying into Dallas, and hopefully Dalvin Cook, Vikings legend, might be a little washed, but it's seeming like today they're pretty active. So maybe Jerry's today's the day he's going to start giving us what we want. But I do think that he's been a pretty good GM. I think he's been a good owner. He does say a lot of dumb stuff, but I do think a big reason why he seems so robotic is he's not wanting to throw a lot of people under the bus. Like, I think he protects Steven.
And I'd like to remind you, as of today, it has been 10,451 days since your Dallas Cowboys have been to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Again, I will say 10,451 days and counting. So, yes, somebody could do it better than you. It is obvious someone can do it better than you, Jerry. Like, as a businessman, sure, you made $1 billion before you had this $1 billion franchise. You're a great businessman. The business of the Dallas Cowboys has never been better.
Mm-hmm.
It flip-flops every year. Real Madrid and Dallas Cowboys with the New York Yankees right at their tail as being the most valuable sports franchise in the world. As far as business goes, sure. Are they often competitive? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Double-digit wins all the time? Sure. Wild card wins against worse opponents? Sure. But the business of getting to the Super Bowl and winning and actually being America's team, Jerry, you've never been more wrong. There are so many better candidates out there, an insane amount of better candidates to do this job. If you would have stepped aside, you could have done it with grace and dignity a long time ago. You could still be Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys owner. You can still say, how about them Cowboys? You could still say, this is our year. You could still say all of that stuff that you love saying to rile up Cowboy Nation and let someone do your job better.
Here's where I push back. So since 2000, here are the top 5 teams with the most players via the draft make a Pro Bowl. 5th is the Seahawks at 19. 4th is the Chiefs, 20. 3rd, Chargers, 22. And they're tied with the Chargers and Cowboys are tied at 22nd. Tied at number 2 with 22. And then the Packers are first with 23. So the Cowboys they've 22 draft picks make it to the Pro Bowl. And I feel like as far as Jerry's concerned, it's like, look, we've put the talent out there. Now, where he needs to be more accountable is the coaching staffs. He's done an awful job with the coaching staffs. That is the real issue. The Cowboys have no discipline. They have always, at least the past 5 years, they've been top of the league in penalties. And I know this stat like the back of my hand. They led the league in penalties 2 of the last 3 years. And no other team that was within the top 5 was a playoff team. So they were the only team in the top 5 in penalties to be in the playoffs. So we're going there and we're winning despite the penalties, which is a direct correlation of your coaching staff. It takes one practice to fix penalties. All a coach has to do is go out and say, okay, today we have referees that I brought in and they're going to watch every single thing. And for every penalty, we're going to tally it up. And at the end of practice, we're going to run this many sprints for all the penalties. And you do that for just 2 work days of a practice week. I promise your team's going to go out there and commit much less penalties because they're professionals. They know how to not commit penalties. They just need to be redisciplined about it. And nobody fears discipline in Dallas. And that's Jerry's fault because he's put the coaching staff there and he's in charge of the culture.
And he doesn't fear disillusionment either. Look, if you want to be slightly above average, I get it, baby. Look at me. I'm the poster child of being slightly above average. Would you like to look back upon my whole life? I don't suck, and I'm not the best. Jerry Jones, would you like for me to be your GM? Because if you want to be just good enough, you want to be slightly above average, boy, do I have the dude for you. When we get back, it's your 66 Diner Blue Plate special moment of the day. You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows saving.
Welcome back to the program, Duke City. Hell of a program so far. Zay Johnson, you're crushing it.
Thank you. Just getting a little warmed up.
Although this is like the easiest program for you today because we did so much Cowboys talk. You're welcome, brother.
Thank you. And you know, it's going to get easier and easier the more football season goes on.
Oh, God. Set it and forget it, baby.
Yeah,
You're a football junkie. This is going to be like just eating a piece of pie for you.
I know it's how this show is for you guys as well, but it's like, you know, football season really helps out. We were just in the dog days, and you get through it, and then you don't realize that you're in the dog days because you're treading water. And then you look back, and it's like we just did months and months with really no major sports going on outside of baseball.
That hurts. Baseball's a major sport.
Outside of baseball.
And I'd rather do sports adjacent anyways, but NFL talk for 6 months. Here we go. Not NFL talk, but your 66 Diner Blue Plate special moment of the day is the greatest person to ever do it in the history of the sport. Shohei Ohtani hits the 40-40 club in a year that he's rehabbing from Tommy John surgery. In the same game, got his 40th steal and a walk-off grand slam for his 40th home run ball. Tip of the hat to you, Shohei Ohtani. You are must-see TV. Friends of the show, if you're not watching what Shohei Ohtani is doing at the highest levels of the hardest professional sport there is, you're missing out.
It seems like when the lights are brightest, he gets better because he hit a big old home run at the All-Star game.
Yep.
And he's constantly hitting walk-offs.
They were so stupid loading the bases for him in the bottom of the ninth. You know who's up fourth, you idiot?
You know, I don't want to start any beef, but me personally, I'm taking Judge. That's just me.
Fortunately, they're in different leagues. Shohei Ohtani can do everything Judge does, but he also steals bases, and he also strikes people out. He's the best to ever do it. You should be watching him. And he has a chance throughout the rest of the season to be the first 50-50 home run stolen base club member. One of one. When we get back, more sports adjacent content. You're listening to 2 Men On, 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
and Fred Slow with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Two hours in the books, one more hour to go here on Two Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. One Van Nunley here, one Isaiah Johnson right across the glass, being the two chair and producer here today. Good job today, buddy.
Appreciate it. You too.
Fred Slow's back tomorrow, coming to you all the way across the country by the magic of technology and the interwebs.
Is he back in the loo?
I don't think I should disclose his location.
Okay,
we got some weird fans, brother. So
you always got to remind me how weird the fans get.
There's only a couple, though.
I'm on here saying
only a couple. The overwhelming majority, lovely human beings.
I'm always saying the first name, last names. Jeez.
Dude, we had an absolute blast at Home Run Derby X on Friday. We were tasked by our friends at the Isotopes and, Major League Baseball and their friends at MLB.com to do interviews with the players after they performed in Home Run Derby X. Had a lot of fun doing that. But also we did interviews with some of the contestants on the program, like probably the most loved baseball player in all of Albuquerque, Manny Ramirez, and World Series champion, just got his number retired by the Nationals, Ryan Zimmerman, and just perpetual stud every year in Major League Baseball, Ian Desmond. So we got an overwhelming surge of people like, oh my God, I missed those interviews. I wanted to hear those. I heard they were so good. Well, guess what? We're going to play them back for you right now, starting with everyone's favorite baseball player and baseball player personality, Manny Ramirez, after the break. But also, look, friends of the show, if you miss anything on the program, you really didn't miss anything on the program, because everything we do here live on the Sports Animal, 95.9 FM and AM 610, gets put up on all your favorite podcast networks, whether it's SoundCloud or Stitcher or the two big dogs, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can hear it all there at Talk ABQ, or just search Two Men On. But at Talk ABQ is where to find us on all those platforms, and on Instagram. Got tons of content for you. So after the break, we're going to play Manny Ramirez. We are back live, 100% live tomorrow from the Duke's Team Store. We're going to have a lot of fun with owner-operator of the Duke's Team Store, Steve Palmisano, who is helping make T-shirts for the YMCA Topgolf event.
Nice.
This Thursday from 5 to 8. Go check out ymcacnm.com or just Google Albuquerque YMCA, and you could get yourself into the tournament. Still a few spots left, whether it's a team of 4 or a team up to 6 contestants, or you just want to show up by yourself and support Two Men On and support the YMCA and everything they do for the community. You have your opportunity this Thursday. But I'm going to let you guys go to commercial break and come back with MLB legend Manny Ramirez. For one Fred Slow, for Isaiah Johnson, this has been Van Nunley for Two Men On, and we'll see you tomorrow, Burke.
Been thinking about a switch to solar? Time could be right.